Hey guys, Silver Shady here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemonday. And today, we're gonna go over standard Greninja BREAK. So this is the list that you're seeing right now. I'm just gonna go over a couple of the key cards real quick. Naturally, our main attacker is going to be Greninja from Breakpoint. He has two fantastic attacks, actually. 130 HP, Stage 2, doesn't really matter. Does matter that he does have free retreat costs, and I'll tell you why after, but for one colorless energy, he does Shadow Stitching for 40 damage until the end of your opponent's next turn. Each Pokemon your opponent has in play in his or her hand and in his or her discard pile has no abilities. That includes cards that come into play on that turn. It should be noted that does not affect you. Not that it really matters much, but just saying. And on top of that, we have the Greninja BREAK. Now, it's BREAK, so it's turned sideways, so I'll just tell you. The ability is Giant Water Shuriken. Once during your turn, before your attack, if Greninja BREAK is your active Pokemon, you may discard a Water Energy card from your hand. If you do, put 6 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Also, his Greninja's second attack being Moonlight Slash for 1 Water Energy. It does 60 damage, and if you return a Water Energy card from your Pokemon, from this Pokemon to your hand, you do an extra 20. So that's going to be your more heavy-hitting attack, while Shadow Stitching is going to be your disruption. Now, yes, this is a very, essentially a Stage 3 deck, so why is it playable? Here's your answer. Water Duplicates Frogadier. Frogadier being the Stage 1 for 1 Water Energy, Water Duplicates. Search your deck for up to 3 Frogadier and put them directly onto your bench. Shuffle them afterward. Shuffle your deck afterward. No Froakies, no nonsense, just find them and put them on the bench. Nice and easy, nice and quick. So we run a 3-4-4-3 line of Greninja. And we're also now going to get into Talonflame. When I was discussing in a previous video about the 4 different options you have for Pokemon-based acceleration, this would be number 3, Talonflame. Its ability, Gale Wings. It is a Stage 2 with 130 HP. If this Pokemon is in your hand when you are setting up to play, you may put it face down as your active Pokemon. It's got another free retreat cost, which is great for us. But for 1 colorless energy, it does Aero Blitz for 40. You search your deck for any 2 cards, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck afterward. So it's a really fantastic setup attacker. But if you don't get it in your opening hand, it's 4 dead cards in your deck. Anyway, we're going to move on to our supporters here. This is one of those decks that I was mentioning that you want to switch up your Sycamore and End line. And the only reason for that is essentially we only run 7 basics in the deck, because 4 Talonflame and then the 3 Froakies, and that's it. N is your best friend because you're going to be mulling a lot. And when you're having your opponent take a lot of mulligan draws, there is nothing more annoying than you playing an N and they have to shuffle all of that right back into their deck. So we play 4 copies of N, 3 copies of Sycamore, 1 copy of Lysander, and 1 copy of Fisherman. Fairly straightforward. For our stadium of choice, we run Silent Lab. Now, there are a lot of different options you could have for Greninja BREAK. You could run Parallel City, theoretically. You could run Rough Seas, is another good one that you could choose. However, those were all good options before the promo Giratina came out. I mentioned in the Volcanion list that promo Giratina. This is why we run Silent Lab. Because that Giratina will shut us down. Because at that point, you're only dealing Moonlight Slash for 80 damage. Without that added pressure of being able to snipe for 60 anywhere you want, Greninja's a dead deck. There's no point. So Silent Lab, each basic Pokemon in play and in each player's hand and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. And if you'll notice, our only basic is Froakie, and he doesn't have an ability. So that really doesn't hurt us at all. So it's a no-brainer to run it. As far as ball searching, we have 4 copies of Dive Ball. because everything we have here is a water type that we're actually going to be searching. We're never actually going to be searching for Talonflame unless we're searching for it to Sycamore. And then we also run 2 copies of Ultra Ball. This is only because if we get Talonflames into our hand, it's a reliable way to get them into our discard pile. We run 2 copies of Enhanced Hammer, Mega Mewtwo, Yveltal, just any deck pretty much that runs any form of special energy. Just great card to have. Rival Greninja BREAK matchup, another great example. We run 2 copies of Max Potion, because 9 times out of 10 when you Moonlight Slash, you're going to be returning that energy back to your hand. So being able to heal all damage from that Pokemon for no backdraw is just fantastic, and definitely something we should consider having in the deck. Naturally, we run 4 copies of Versus Seeker, and we also run 2 copies of Super Rod. This is just to help get back things like our Froakies and Frogadiers, Greninjas Breaks, Water Energies, because we're going to be discarding a lot of them, that kind of stuff. And lastly, to round out our items, we run 4 copies of Bursting Balloon. This is more of a deterrent card, because either your opponent is going to Lysander around it, or they're going to play, say, a Rat to discard it, or they're just going to pass their turn, or they're going to hit through it and then take 60 damage, which sets you up for a knockout next turn. So just a really great card to have. We run 2 copies of Splash Energy. So Splash Energy can only be attached to a Water-type Pokemon. If the Pokemon this card's attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, you put that Pokemon back into your hand and discard all other cards attached to it. Naturally, we're only really going to have Bursting Balloon and the Splash Energy itself attached, and Bursting Balloon gets discarded at the end of your opponent's turn. So if they knock out our Greninja, the Bursting Balloon's going there anyway. The only thing we're actually going to be losing is going to be the Splash Energy. Everything else goes right back to our hand, and 9 times out of 10, we can play it all back down immediately. And then to round out our list, we run 8 basic Water Energies. So that's the deck. As far as a couple of tech options that you might be looking at, this is one of those decks that's actually really popular right now. One of the cards that people have been teching into the deck to try to help the matchup is Pokemon Ranger. If you face off against a Greninja mirror match and you have the Ranger and they don't, 9 times out of 10 you win. Unless they God Hand you and you dead draw. 9 times out of 10 you're going to win. Because their Shadow Stitching is what's going to kill you. So, for the mirror match itself, Pokemon Ranger is something a lot of people run. If you're not worried about hitting that much Greninja, it's really not worth it to put that in. It all depends. I have not faced much Greninja online. I've faced a couple of decks here and there, but the vast majority of decks I've actually been facing are actually, ironically, Volcanion, which is one of our best matchups, right off the bat. So I chose to up our count of Bursting Balloon to 4, rather than dropping it to 3 and adding in the 1 copy of the Pokemon Ranger. But either way, we're gonna take this into a couple of games, and yeah, show you how she runs. Okay, Psychic Colorless, so we could be seeing a Mega Mewtwo, maybe? He has a Gengar coin, so I'm a little confused as to what that would be. We will actually go first. This deck is one of those decks that loves going first. Let's hit the Talonflame. Okay, so we flopped on the Talonflame, but it is what it is. At least we start out with 2 Froakies, which is decent. Definitely not going to complain about that. It's better than not getting anything at all. And I'm worried about the Garb. I'm definitely worried about the Garb here. Garb makes any matchup sticky, at best. Oh, we hit Ho-Oh. Interesting. Huh. Okay, I have not faced a Ho-Oh deck in a long time, so this should be very interesting. We're not actually going to play that Water Energy. We're not going to play anything from our hand, I'm thinking. For right now, I'm actually going to sit on this. If we play that Splash Energy, we could easily be Enhanced Hammered, and that's the last thing we want. Enhanced Hammer is very big in the format right now. Alright, so we see the Hoopa, probably grabbing a couple more Ho-Ohs and a Shaman. I'd imagine 2 and 1. Ho-Oh Shaman split. Yep. 2 and 1. Ho-Oh Shaman split. Okay. I'm very interested to see what this kind of deck is. Okay. I don't think we have to worry about Garb in this matchup. That's the other thing. I'm honestly thinking we should be okay with Garb. Okay. Because he's going to want to keep his Purifying Fire ability in play as much as possible. What we are going to have to worry about is him attaching that fire energy and being able to get that ability off. That is what's going to hurt us. Okay, so we see a setup for 6, that's fine. Shadow Stitching, actually, is going to be a big friend to us with this matchup. 30 damage snipe, oh wow. This should be interesting. Okay, so he gets a lot of cards set up, but, again, nothing I'm terribly worried about, so we're going to drop the Bursting Balloon. Drop the Splash Energy, we're gonna, assuming I can pick up the cards here, use the N. Okay, and we do hit the Frogadier, which is exactly what we needed. So, I'm gonna take the Frogadier here, drop that down, and we're going to use Water Duplicates. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so we prized 2 Frogadiers. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Okay, so he runs the Dodrio, reducing his retreat cost by 2. Alright, so yeah, that Splash Energy is going to come in clutch here. Because that's going to allow us to get our Frogadier back here. Attaching the Float Stone onto the Hoopa. Interesting. We get Elemental Feathered here for a knockout. He's going to lay down 30 on there. Bursting Balloon is going to take its effect at 60. And we're actually going to send up the Frogadier here. Those 2 go back to our hand. And we top deck the Greninja. Look at that. Okay. Come on. Now, the only problem that we're going to have now is because we don't have those backup Frogadiers, we are screwed when it comes to what we can do. We could try going for a bubble hit. I'm not sure if I want to do that, though. We could actually go for a knockout here. Actually, yeah, because he's weak to water. So we'll attach the Bursting Balloon. We're gonna Sycamore here. It doesn't look like he's running Rainbow Energy, so I'm not worried about that. Oh, and we hit the victory. Okay, wow. Damn. And we also hit the Silent Lab, which is actually, I completely forgot about the Silent Lab. Stupid me, but anyway, yeah, so we walk away with a W, so we're gonna go into another game. Did not see that coming. Okay, so we hit a dark colorless deck, so I'm wondering if we hit either a Darkrai or an Yveltal build. It's not running Garbodor, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. But either way, it's definitely a Dark-type build. I'm expecting either Shamans or Talonflames for the colorless. Alright, and we mold. Our opponent's going to be going first, but they mold as well. We see a Team Rocket's handiwork. Okay. Interesting. Crushing Hammers, Enhanced Hammers, Ends. So definitely a lot of hammers. Not something I'm really worried about. We don't really have any... We never really keep much energy on the board. Oh, wow, we both mold again. Okay, so we see Silent Labs. Odds are our Silent Labs or one of our Silent Labs are going to be completely useless. Whoever plays it first is going to get it. Okay, and we actually hit a damn good hand. So, we're going to keep that. Okay. And no one takes any mo- oh, okay, so we got a Bunnelby deck. With Malamar? Okay, so he's gonna red card us. That's interesting. Lysander. Okay. Just a lot of interesting cards you never really see hit field, ever. So we're gonna go ahead and attach our water energy here. We're gonna play the Sycamore. So I'm not too worried about anything we really have right now. We're gonna drop down the Silent Lab. We're gonna go ahead and use Bubble. Okay, so we flopped the Bubble, that's fine. That happens. Nothing I'm too worried about. Okay, so we Crushing Hammers us. Nothing I'm worried about, again, because we have the Super Rod to get everything we need back. And we have more water energies in hand that we can just keep using Bubble with, so. Okay, so he's gonna evolve with that Malamar. Okay, so Steam Siege Malamar. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, his or active new active Pokemon is not confused. Put a card from discard pile into your hand. Alright. Interesting. I'll definitely say that. Definitely interesting. I'm gonna hit the Sycamore, discarding Versus Seeker and an N. Okay. And I'm guessing he's gonna Barrel us. Hit the Enhanced Hammer. And we hit the Greninja. Okay. Now, we could shuffle that Talonflame back into our deck, but I'm not really looking forward to doing that. So we're gonna try to Bubble here again. Man, I'm getting tails on everything. Holy shit. Oh, excuse me. Alright, Level Ball. See a Dark Energy going to the Malamar. I'm really curious as to what this type of deck is. And another Malamar hits the field. Team Rocket's Handiwork. Alright, heads. Alright, so he hits a Frogadier and a Greninja. Alright. Alright, so he burrows off. Man, he's just burning through our deck, huh? Ooh, he hits the Splash Energy. That's not fun. That's no fun. So we're gonna get that. Gonna get the Water Energy and the Greninja back into our deck. Gonna attach the Water Energy onto Talonflame here. We're gonna Versus Seeker, and we're gonna have to go for the Sycamore because we really don't have many other options. I would have preferred to try to keep this hand, but yeah, we have to hit something here. I'm not terribly worried about Bursting Balloon right now, actually. Because I don't really see it being all that useful. We're gonna grab another Frogadier here. Play that down. We're gonna Water Duplicates. Grab our other two out of here. Those go directly onto the bench. And then it's his turn, and we're probably gonna get milled a little bit more here. Alright, Flare Grunt, that's literally no problem. Okay. He hits the Silent Lab, which I'm not worried about. And the N, not worried about it. Okay, so we top deck the Sycamore, which is actually pretty important, because we really don't want to be dealing with much else here. So we're gonna have the Bursting Balloon. I don't want to end him because he's only got 2 cards in hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and Sycamore here. Alright, nice. Nice, we hit another Greninja. And, what are we looking at here? So, definitely gonna have another Super Rod here. We're gonna Moonlight Slash, and we are gonna return that energy back to our hand. So we can use that to deal a nice licking down on this Malamar. And we hit the N. Alright, nothing really too concerning here. Now, he could bring out another Pokemon and try to confuse us with it. We'll see how well that works out. Crash Tentacle. He's gonna take the 60. Okay. Well, you're not gonna hear any complaints from this side of the alley. Okay. Well then. I was not expecting him to do that. In all honesty, I honestly was not expecting him to go ahead and just play that in that manner, but okay. I'm probably going to be discarding this anyway, so I'm just going to use a max potion. There's nothing here I'm too concerned with keeping right now. Giant water shuriken away this. Knock out the Malamar because it's right fucking there, why not? Now, if we can hit the other Greninja BREAK, we might be able to hit the Donk here too. So, throw the Bursting Balloon down. We'll Versus Seeker here. We may lose the other Splash Energy, but with him having the hammers in hand, I'm not really that concerned about it. And we hit the other Greninja BREAK, but we do not, however, hit the water energy we need to go along with it. So we're going to free retreat here. Alright, Ultra Ball is going to come in handy here. So we're going to Moonlight Slash here, and we are going to return that to hand. And now he's going to come up with something quick, because next turn we knock him out. And we have the Fisherman in hand, so we can get back a lot of water energies. Okay, so he gets 4 cards off. Ow. If he can mill 3 more, then we're fucked. But I'm not terribly worried about that, actually. I don't think he'll be able to hit those 4. Tangling Control, he's going to bring up another Pokemon and confuse it. Froakie, okay. Okay. So we're gonna play the water energy onto the Froakie here. Fisherman. Get back 4 water energies into our hand. Bursting Balloon. Okay. And he scoops. Alright, I was actually kind of worried there for a second there, because if he had another Team Rocket's handiwork and hit a heads, that would have been it. Okay, so we hit a Color Psychic Fighting deck. This should be interesting. Yes, we would like to go first. Oh, no, we're not going to take a mull on this. I'm okay with this hand. Okay. Alright, 2 Ultra Balls, 2 Ends, a Lysander, Trainer's Mail, nice looking double colors. Nothing really too shocking. Alright, we actually get to draw an extra card off this, so I'm definitely okay with that. Mew! Okay. Alright, we're gonna drop the N here. Sure, it gives him another card, but that's actually more than okay, based on what we just got. We're gonna drop the Froakie down. Okay. Alright, well, yeah. I don't know why. It honestly reminds me of last format with Night March. Because Night March was a deck where if you played Night March, you knew the second someone saw one of those fucking Joltics hit the field, they scooped. They were out. They were done. That was it. Joltik was often called the bane of any Pokemon player's existence. Just because of how much it dominated last year's format. And then failed at Worlds, but that's a whole nother story that we won't get into right now. But yeah, Night March did the same thing back then that this deck is doing now. People see it, and they scoop. I don't know why. It's not like it's a difficult deck to take down. We've taken them down before. The Volcanion list I built, actually, which normally has a horrendous matchup with Greninja, I've taken down a couple of Greninja decks with that deck. If you know how to handle the deck, then it's not that difficult to take out, but, either way, yeah. I think we'll actually leave that here, just because even if I played 10 matches, I guarantee you 90% of those are just going to be the same result. So we'll just take the two that actually played out a little bit. We'll keep this one in here just to showcase what happens 9 times out of 10. And we'll go from there. But yeah, that's Greninja. That's Greninja Break. It should be noted, a little on later this week, Sun and Moon is being released. My hope is I have it lined up with a friend of mine that we're going to be trying to record a booster box opening. So you might see a special Poke Friday episode coming out. It'll probably just be called a Pokemonday special, but we'll see about that a little bit later on down the road. So just keep your eyes out for that one. And in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.